All right, day 27 of my semi-automatic handgun collection, and today's video is going to be kind of like a video I've done before when I showed you this gun back when people asked me if it was worth buying. It is the Bond Arms Bullpup. This gun was previously known as a Boberg design gun, but it was bought out, much like Remington bought out the Rohrball. This was bought by Bond Arms from Boberg. Now, the reason they call this a bullpup is because of the way the rounds are fed into the chamber. Since they are pulled backwards out of the magazine instead of being pushed forwards out of them, the chamber can be back right over top of the magazine. So that allows the barrel to be set further back to give you just as long a barrel without having nearly as long of a gun. Hence, bullpup. I don't know how well you can see there, but this little mechanism here actually strips the rounds out of the magazine backwards and then carries them forward into the chamber. That's why it's such a different design. This is a 9mm gun, and it holds 7 rounds plus 1 for a total of 8 rounds of 9mm in a very small package. And when you look at the magazine here, you can see how the magazine is designed for the rounds to be pulled out backwards instead of pushed out forward. In fact, I often try to put the magazine in the gun backwards because of that. So this gun does take a little getting used to when it comes to loading it up. You feel like you're putting in the rounds backwards, and then you feel like you're putting the magazine in the gun backwards. Now, as far as how the gun functions trigger-wise, it's just a simple double action only firearm. You can see the hammer going back there, and every time you pull the trigger, it goes back. But however, when the slide loads another round, it does not cock the hammer, so there is no single action. It's always double action. Now, this gun is completely stock. It still has the driftable front and back white 3-dot sights, and it still has the original Bond Arms wooden grips. Bond Arms does some really nice grips on their guns, and these are no exception. I've made no modifications to this gun whatsoever, and the only problem I've had with it ever is that if you use cheap ammo that isn't crimped, it will strip the rounds. That can be a problem. And for some reason, Fort Scott ammunition, because of the way the bullet is designed, does not feed in this gun at all. One other small problem I've had with this gun is that rear sight tends to work itself loose. If you're not lazy like me, you just put a little drop of Loctite on the screw. Once you get it in place, you won't have that problem. So like I said, this gun is pretty unique. It operates in a very unusual fashion for a handgun. And is it worth owning? Yes, it's very much worth owning. I found it to be very reliable, and it's very cool also. But I don't think I'd recommend it if it was going to be your only gun. If you got other options and you like things that are a little different, I would definitely get one of these. And like I said, it's number 27 in my semi-automatic handgun collection, my Bond Arms 9mm Bullpup.